What is up, you guys? Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. So for today's video, I wanted to cover two topics. First, I wanted to talk about fat loss, and then second, I wanted to talk about easy peasy, make ahead, high protein smoothies. So these kind of go hand in hand, and I'll explain why. So let's go ahead and just get right into it. So a lot of us made New Year's resolutions where we wanted to fit into a smaller pant size, we wanted to lose a few inches around the waist, or we wanted to lose that fat in our arms. Many of us also started going to the gym or changed our gym regimen to target a certain area because we wanted to target fat loss in a part of our body. So say you were doing a bunch of crunches because you want to lose fat in your stomach area. This idea of targeting a specific area by working that body part is called spot reduction. But I wanted to tell you guys that this is not the way to lose weight in a certain area. So if you are at the gym and you're trying to lose weight in your abdomen area, decrease a few inches there, and you're doing tons of crunches, yes, you are strengthening your abdominal muscles and getting a great core, but you're not actually targeting the fat around your waist. Now, there are different physiological reasons as to why it doesn't work this way. There's a lot of research on it as well, but I'm gonna try to break it down simple for you guys. Our fat cells contain fats known as triglycerides, but our muscles can't directly use triglycerides as fuel during a workout. The triglycerides must be broken down into fatty acids and glycerol and then shot into the bloodstream and then used as fuel. So you are strengthening the muscles, but you're not losing fat when you're doing tons of crunches or tons of bicep curls to lose that flabby arm. So how do you lose fat? Well, it actually takes a combination of a few things, but the ultimate goal is to be in a caloric deficit. You need to either increase your physical activity without increasing your caloric intake, or you decrease your caloric intake but keep the same physical activity, or you decrease caloric intake, increase physical activity, and that's where you're gonna see the faster weight loss. When we're in a caloric deficit, our body will use the fat stored in our body as fuel, and then you will lose weight. So it does take time, obviously, because pounds of fat is much larger than pounds of muscle. So over time, each pound of fat that you lose will decrease your body size, and a little bit may come from your arm, a little bit may come from your stomach, a little bit may come from your thigh area, and all of us hold weight differently. So over time, we might lose some in our arms quicker than our legs. It just depends on our genetics and our body, but I promise you, if you keep it up, you're going to do great. Just when you go to the gym, combine cardio, combine weights, change it up, and I promise you will lose that fat. But remember, it's not always about the number on the scale. If you are gaining muscle, you may not be changing on the scale, but you actually still may be losing fat. So remember to measure yourself, measure your waistline, your thighs, your arms, and that is a greater indicator if you're losing fat rather than what it says on the scale, especially if you are combining weights into your physical activity regimen. So now that I have talked about fat loss and how you can't target a specific area by working that muscle, let's go ahead and get right into the smoothies. So for the second part of this video, I wanted to do 3 easy peasy, high protein, make ahead smoothies. So I think a lot of us struggle with making healthy choices at lunchtime when we're out at work, or we end up skipping breakfast because we don't have enough time, we wake up late, or we don't want to take the time to do it in the morning. I came up with 3 different recipes for you guys that use different protein sources, different fruits, different vegetables, so that way each and every one, whichever one seems to suit you best, you can give it a try. And I tried to make them unique and also really balance, having a good bit of fat, carbs, and proteins, so that way if you do have it for breakfast or lunch or even post-workout, that it will be a good amount of each and every macronutrient, so that you stay full, satisfied, and that it's tasty and delicious. So our 3 smoothie recipes are a berry, flaxseed, banana, and then we also have a strawberry matcha, and then our last smoothie is a butternut squash smoothie. So let's go ahead and get right into the kitchen and start making some healthy smoothies. So the first smoothie that we have is our berry superfood smoothie. So I love this smoothie because it has flaxseed, berries, a energy booster powder, and our protein source cottage cheese. Now for the base, I used 1% milk. I love milk. It has protein, carbs, fat. It literally has every macronutrient in a great consistency. Then I like to use liquid stevia to sweeten my smoothie just a little bit, so that it's a little bit sweeter without adding any added sugar. And then bananas are full of potassium. They make your smoothies really creamy and delicious. So I always like to add half a banana to my smoothie. Next up, we have the berries. Berries are super high in antioxidants and fiber, great to add to a smoothie. And then I use the Amazing Grass Energy Booster. It has different ingredients that are really high in B vitamins. So think about energy and metabolism. Top it off with some flax seeds, so high in omega-3s and fiber. And then our protein source, cottage cheese, which is low in carbs, super high in protein. It's in a readily available form, and it makes your smoothie so creamy and delicious. Just top that off, then put some spinach on there. Gotta have some iron and some greens. And when you add spinach to a smoothie, you truly don't taste it, especially if you have a high-powered blender that can get it into super tiny pieces, so you don't even have the consistency of spinach. Then I topped it off with a strawberry, and it was absolutely out of this world, even though the color was kind of weird, but I loved it. Next up, we have our strawberry matcha smoothie. So I used 1% milk again. And like I said, if you don't have a lactose intolerance, please use real milk. It has so many good vitamins and minerals like calcium, vitamin D, riboflavin. Then I added a quarter of an avocado because of its healthy monounsaturated fats, liquid stevia to sweeten it up, and then of course the matcha powder. Matcha powder has so many health benefits, high in B vitamins, it's got natural caffeine in there to give you energy, super good. And then I topped it with our berry complex. We have strawberries and bananas in there. It's gonna make it yummy and sweet and fruity. Once again, topped it with some spinach, gotta get those greens in there. And then the protein for this smoothie is Greek yogurt 2%. Super high in protein, low in carbohydrates, just a little bit of fat in there to keep you full and satisfied. Also, it really makes this smoothie absolutely creamy and delicious. Just blended it all up. This one came out to be a beautiful green color. Topped it with a strawberry. This one was probably my favorite out of the 3, if I have to be honest. I drank that thing in probably less than 5 minutes. For our last smoothie, we have our butternut squash cinnamon smoothie. Now for this smoothie, I just bought some frozen cubed butternut squash, roasted in the oven with some cinnamon until it was done. And then I used half a cup of that, and then 1 serving of vanilla protein powder. You can use whichever one that you like. Honestly, this one was not my favorite, but it's the one I had on hand, and the vanilla just adds a good flavor. Then cinnamon and turmeric are actually the stars of the show in this recipe. Cinnamon and turmeric are anti-inflammatory. And then the butternut squash in this smoothie recipe is super high in vitamin A, so good for you. Topped it with water, ice, and some liquid stevia to sweeten it a little bit. And then also you could have half banana if you wished. Blend it up and there you go. Voila, you have a super delicious smoothie. Also put bee pollen in the smoothie just to give it a little bit of natural sweetness. Alright you guys, I really hope that you try some of these smoothies out. Let me know what you think and which ones you like. And if you have a healthy smoothie recipe, please share it in the comments down below. All of us are looking for healthy recipes, even myself. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'm going to go ahead and close out this video. Please like, subscribe, join the Megan Houston family, and I hope to see you guys next week.